Level 1. This is where everyone thinks they understand special forces. They do not. At this level, you are not an operator. You are not a warrior poet with night vision and a mysterious stare. You are a recruit, which means the system sees you as potential, paperwork, and a medical appointment waiting to happen. If you come through the U.S. Army route, one of the most direct doors is the 18X contract, the Special Forces candidate path. Even that sounds cleaner than it feels. You still need to meet age limits, citizenship rules, fitness standards, test scores, airborne eligibility, and security clearance requirements. The romance begins with forms. As usual, bureaucracy arrives before glory. The system does not treat you like a hero. It treats you like a question. Can you follow instructions? Can you be trusted with basic equipment? Can you wake up early without negotiating with reality? At this point, nobody cares what you imagine yourself becoming. The machine only cares whether you can survive being processed by it. You are not inside Special Forces yet. You are standing outside the building, holding a pen, trying not to look too impressed by the door. Level 2. Basic Trainee. Now the system stops asking whether you are interested and starts finding out whether you are usable. U.S. Army Basic Combat Training lasts about 10 weeks. It teaches weapons handling, first aid, land navigation, discipline, physical conditioning, teamwork, and the ancient military art of being corrected loudly in public. This is not Special Forces training. This is the military making sure you can function as a soldier before anyone lets you chase the more exotic suffering. Your rank is low. Your freedom is lower. Your schedule belongs to people with clipboards and very little interest in your personal brand. You learn that small mistakes have large consequences, especially when the consequence is everyone doing push-ups because one person forgot something simple. But this level matters because Special Forces does not begin with secret missions. It begins with fundamentals. Cleaning gear. Moving on time. Listening the first time. Staying calm when tired. The boring things are not decoration. They are the floor. At this level, the system is not trying to make you special. It is trying to make you reliable. And reliability is less glamorous than danger, which is why most recruitment posters wisely avoid showing laundry. Level 3. Airborne and Preparation Candidate. This is where the system gives you just enough status to make you dangerous to your own ego. If you are on the Special Forces path, you generally need to qualify for airborne school. You also move through preparation designed to sharpen the basic skills that will be tested later, especially fitness and land navigation. The Army lists a 6-week Special Forces preparation course before assessment. That is a polite way of saying the system gives you time to discover how much your confidence weighs when you carry it uphill. You are still not Special Forces. This is important. You may be near the pipeline, wearing better boots, talking to more serious people, and learning acronyms that make normal conversation worse. But the system still treats you as a candidate, not a member. The pressure changes here. In basic training, everyone is supposed to become a soldier. Here, many people are expected to disappear from the path. Not dramatically, just administratively. One day they are there. Then they are assigned somewhere else, and the machine keeps walking. The difference from the previous level is psychological. You are no longer proving that you can belong in the Army. You are proving that you might belong in a smaller room where the standards are colder. Level 4. Selection Candidate. Special Forces Assessment and Selection is where the system becomes very honest. SFS lasts 24 days. That number sounds manageable until you remember that a day can be made extremely long by distance, weight, weather, silence, and people evaluating you without explaining exactly what they want. This is where candidates are assessed for stamina, judgment, teamwork, navigation, emotional control, and the quiet ability to keep functioning when the body has started filing complaints. The system does not treat you like a student here. It treats you like evidence. Every decision says something. How you move, how you lead, how you follow, how you behave when nobody is praising you. especially that last one, because almost anyone can look disciplined while being admired. Selection is not just about being fit. Fit people fail. Strong people fail. People who look perfect in a gym fail when the problem becomes uncertainty, isolation, and carrying heavy things through terrain that appears to have a personal grudge. This is the level where fantasy usually dies. Not because the system gives a speech, because it gives distance, time, and consequences. Very efficient. Terrible customer service. Level 5. Qualification course student. If you pass selection, you have not arrived. You have been invited to begin the longer problem. The Special Forces Qualification Course, run through the U.S. Army John F. Kennedy Special Warfare Center and School at Fort Liberty, has changed over time, but the Army describes the modern course as around 53 weeks after preparation and selection. Older Army accounts describe the broader course as lasting at least a year, and sometimes longer depending on specialty. Either way, this is not a weekend leadership seminar with matching lanyards. Here the system starts shaping you into a specific kind of Special Forces soldier. Candidates train in small unit tactics, survival, evasion, resistance and escape, language, culture, unconventional warfare, and specialty skills. Some become weapons sergeants. Some become engineer sergeants. Some become medical sergeants. Some become communications sergeants. Officers have their own track. This is where the job becomes stranger than the movie version. Special Forces is not just kicking doors and looking dramatic under green light. A huge part of the mission is working with foreign partner forces, understanding local politics, training allies, operating in small teams, and doing sensitive work in places where being loud is not a strategy. The system treats you as someone worth investing in, but not someone safe from removal. You can still fail. You can still get hurt. You can still discover that wanting the tab and earning the tab are two very different hobbies. At this level, you are close enough to see the world you wanted, which is exactly when the system makes sure you understand the price. Level 6. New Green Beret. Graduation changes everything. It also changes less than you think. When a soldier earns the Special Forces tab and the Green Beret, the outside world sees arrival. The unit sees a new guy with useful training and a lot left to prove. This is the uncomfortable comedy of elite communities. The hardest achievement of your life can still make you the least experienced person in the room. You may arrive on an Operational Detachment Alpha, the classic 12-person Special Forces team. These teams are small, specialized, and built around trust. There are usually officers, warrant officers, senior non-commissioned officers, and enlisted specialists in weapons, engineering, medicine, and communications. Everybody has a role. Everybody is expected to be more competent than the situation deserves. The system now treats you with more trust, more equipment, more access, and much less patience for excuses. You are not being taught how to act like a soldier anymore. You are expected to act like a professional in places where mistakes can have diplomatic, tactical, or human consequences. This level is where the mythology becomes daily work. Training cycles, deployments, briefings, language refreshers, maintenance, planning, waiting, more planning. Then suddenly, movement. You finally get the beret. Then you learn the beret does not carry the rucksack for you. Rude, but traditional. Level 7. Senior Operator. After years on a team, the system stops treating you like a promising operator and starts treating you like load-bearing architecture. You are now the person others watch when the plan becomes ugly. You have deployments behind you, mistakes you remember too clearly, and enough experience to know that confidence is useful only when it stays tied to reality. You may be a staff sergeant, sergeant first class, or another experienced NCO, depending on the role and career path. The title matters, but what matters more is credibility. This is where pressure changes shape. At lower levels, you fear being dropped. Here, you fear failing people who trust you. Younger soldiers look to you. Partner forces may depend on you. Commanders may expect you to translate vague intent into something that works on the ground. The job becomes less about proving toughness and more about making good decisions while tired, armed, and surrounded by incomplete information. The system gives you more influence. It also gives you fewer excuses. If something goes wrong, you cannot hide behind being new. You are now part of the reason the team either holds together or slowly becomes a very expensive collection of problems. This is the level where the glamour thins out. What remains is competence, repetition, judgment, and a calendar that does not care about your knees. Level 8. Elite Operator. At the top, the system no longer treats you like someone trying to enter the world of special forces. It treats you like someone responsible for preserving it. This might be a master sergeant, team sergeant, senior warrant officer, or highly experienced operator trusted with enormous influence inside a small unit. The public imagines elite operators as lone figures moving through smoke. In reality, the most valuable person in the room may be the one quietly asking the question that prevents the whole plan from becoming a congressional hearing. At this level, power is quiet. You may shape missions, mentor younger operators, advise commanders, manage relationships with partner forces, and decide when confidence is actually recklessness wearing expensive gear. You have access, but access comes with isolation. You know things most people will never know. You carry outcomes that do not fit neatly into ceremony speeches. The system respects you, but it also consumes you. Years of training, deployments, injuries, missed family time, and constant readiness leave a mark. Elite status is not a finish line. It is a maintenance requirement with better stories and worse sleep. And that is the final joke of the ladder. At the bottom, you think special forces will make you extraordinary. At the top, you understand the system was never really asking for extraordinary. It was asking for useful, disciplined, durable, and calm under pressure. The legend is loud. The real power is quiet. And by the time you reach it, you no longer need anyone to clap.